Good afternoon, everyone. This is Nate G. We're going to do a quick tutorial on how to set up your trading view chart like we have them here in the DPL room with setup for TPS and volume profile style of trading. So we're going to go over to the plus column in your trading view window to add a new chart. And we're not going to pick from anything we've made before. We're going to create a brand new chart. So it gives us this blank chart here. A couple of things we're going to add right out of the gate. We're going to hit the indicators tab up here. We're going to add some EMAs. Okay. And then I'm going to come up here with the little window that pops down. I'm going to make sure that the first EMA is an 8. Right? We do 8, 21, 34. So I'm going to change that to 8. And then I'm going to change the color. I usually like this one to be almost a whitish blue. I'm going to hit OK. And then I am going to come up here to that 8 EMA and I'm going to duplicate this. If I can remember how to do that. Let's see here. Copy it. There you go. Why didn't it copy? Copy. All right. Well, never mind. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to hit EMA again. Okay, and then that one I'm going to open and I'm going to make that the 21. And I usually leave that one as blue. 8, 21, and then we'll do that again. And my favorite one is the 34, and I like to make that kind of a dark orange color. So 8, 21, and 34. Sometimes we have the 55 on the chart. And you can turn these off by clicking the eyeball next to each one. So I usually have the 8. Whoops, I'm sorry. Cancel. Click the eyeball. I usually have the 8 off, especially if I'm doing a 30-minute chart and above. Okay, so we've got our 34 and our 21 on the chart. Now we are going to go put a volume profile on the chart. That is, let's see. It's labeled VRVP, which is visible range volume profile. So we're going to put visible range volume profile on our chart. And now it looks all thick and juicy, as they say. So we're going to adjust that. I'm going to come up here to my gear icon. I like my row size, and everybody's different, right? I like my row size at 200, believe it or not. I like to see both the up and down, but it doesn't really matter for the kinds of things that we do. I turn my style on. I prefer to see this on the left-hand side of the chart. And I prefer it to show me the POC in a dotted line in red. I don't like it to show value area high or value area low because they flop around all the time. So when you put this on your chart, it's probably going to show those. And another thing I do is I don't like it so dark. So I come in here to these values and I knock them all down to 20. Now you can see it's showing you different coloration values because it's giving you this node and potentially the next node. But I'm going to go into all of these and knock them down to about 20, 15 or 20. And that way you can still see it, but it's not intrusive on your charts. See? Now it's over there on the left-hand side. I can see more detail because we have it set to 200 and it's faded away. And that's going to be a personal choice. You can make it brighter, lighter. I don't need it to tell me which value areas are relevant. I can figure that out for myself. But I do like to see the point of control pop in. I turn that on and off. You've seen me do that in different trainings, right? Then you're going to go back up to the indicators and you're going to go squeeze, spell it right, squeeze pro. This one from Make It Zero is a pretty good one. If you've got Squeeze Pro and you pay for it from Simpler Trading, that would be there. And then let's see. I use SQZPRO. And I use that. Nope, that's not what I use. That is a lie. I lied to you. Maybe it is this. Maybe it is this one. Yeah. So it is the Squeeze Pro indicator from Make It Zero. And then I make that a little bit smaller because I kind of want that out of the way, right? Let's see, what am I missing? I've got the Squeeze Pro on there. I've got the volume profile. I've got my EMA lines. Let's just make sure I'm not missing anything else. Oh, and my other background is, oh, yep. And then I put VWAP on my charts because I like to see where we are. So I'll go back to indicators, go VWAP. Let's see. Ooh, which one do I use? Favorites. Let's see. Let's go back. VWAP sessions. All right. I don't want auto anchored. Let's just use this volume weighted average price here, right at the top. And now I'm going to make a bunch of changes to this. So I'm going to go to VWAP. I'm going to hit my gear icon. I don't need to see the upper band. I don't need to see the lower band. I don't need to see the fill. And I would like this to be kind of a light gray. And I would like it to be in circles here, way down here at the bottom. So that it doesn't get confused with some of the other lines on my chart. And you can change the colors here, you know, the 21, you know, I don't like that dark blue. You know, I would maybe change that to, I don't know what I have on my other charts here, but you know, something a little lighter. Yeah, it looks like I have it in a gray on the other charts, the ones I'm not setting up, right? And then if you want to, you can, you know, this is, I'm right clicking the center of the screen. I'm going to my settings and you can change, let's see, I don't know where it is. Maybe it's not that. You can play around with the background of your chart. Color. And I can't seem to find that for whatever reason. Here we go. So if you right click the chart itself and you get this menu bar, you come down here to canvas. You can play around with the gradient a little bit. You know, if you want less of a gradient in the background or if you want more, right? That's probably good for me. This puts in the watermark in behind. So if you're streaming, people know what you're looking at the moment. And then I would hit OK, and then I would come up here and I would name this chart. So I am going to save this layout. Oh, and then I'm going to rename and then call it the new, or whatever you want to call it, TPS volume profile, whatever. And then so when you go to open a new chart, you can open that chart and scroll and find your new and it's going to have everything on there for you. Does that make sense? How do you make the squeeze smaller? I just grab this piece and, move it down here. And then just like the charts, it moves with the charts, but if I want to see more of the momentum indicator, I can slide it from some over here on the left. And every time I come on mic, the market wants to just kind of roll over a little bit, which is a little frustrating. I'm going to be honest. It seems like it's out to get me, this market. Anyway, that is how you set these up. How do you put multiple charts on the screen at one time? So if I'm in my new here, I am going to, I want to do this so you don't ruin your one big chart. Okay, so I'm going to go and I'm going to rename it, and I'm going to rename it new. No, that's not what I'm going to do. Sorry. I'm going to make a copy. And then I'm going to name it, new multi. All right. And then once I've got the new multi, I'm going to come and click on this square here. And I can put two charts side by side if I want. I can put 4 charts up, and you always have to kind of hide this piece here. I might have to manage a few trades here in a second. And then from here, from this grid down below, you can decide what things you want to be the same. So if you want the symbol to be the same, but you don't want the time frames, this could be the SPY on a 1 minute. Then you highlight this one. It could be a 5 minute. You can highlight this one. It could be a 30 minute. And you can highlight this one, and it could be a daily. And then when you change, this to the Qs, the ticker changes, but the time frames stay the same. Okay. So you can do that one. You can also do it where the time frame stays the same, but the symbol doesn't. So let's say we want the time frame. Let's see, do we want them all on a 30 minute? So then if you do that and you're looking at a 30-minute chart, you can have Netflix here. You can have shop here. You can have, Adobe here, right? And then you can have these multiple charts, and you can change the time frames from within. So you can adapt these to give you whatever it is you are looking for. And you can kind of play around with them. Mark, what are you still laughing about? How do I get them in a row at the top? How do I get my stocks up here? I just open a new window. It's just a new single window. I hit this plus button way over here. Now it's in the corner, but it's right next to the last chart you have open. Did you find your new on Blueberry Hill? Oh, God. Well, I'm glad I could provide some entertainment as the market rolls over. TTD, just still the strongest thing on the planet right now. It is the honey badger. It gives zero shits about anything. Look at this. I mean, come on. Get out of town. So I picked up my calls right about there. And yeah, sorry. It was actually the day before. It was on this little into the close on this day. That's where I took him. And they kind of played around and did nothing for 2 days and then took off like a rocket ship. And I think it was right into this level. Let's see, hold on. Yeah. This support level. Sorry, resistance level, which is now a support. I took off my calls. right here. Thinking, looking at this chart. That yellow line up there is resistance. This is support. It was a great trade. I thought it was a great trade. I mean, and it was a great trade. I can't be mad at it, right? You can't be mad about profits. You can't be mad about profits. And I had some to leave a trailer on. I left a trailer on for a little while. It kind of danced around in here, and then I ended up taking it off. I can't remember. I have to go back and look. I think I took it off kind of into this line here, thinking, man, I took the bulk of it off here. Got a little bit of a move up into that level. I just murdered this trade. I'm the man. Euphoria sets in. And then it just does this. I think I looked at these calls about an hour ago. And like the trailer, the one lot trailer would be still worth over $1,500. just the one lot. Not to mention the profits that were taken here. That's pretty hilarious. Talk about some FOMO. Yeah, still a great trade, right, Justin? Like I can't be mad. I at the time I felt like it was a great trade. I had a good risk reward on my entry. I was patient. I took the bulk off into resistance. I left a trailer on to the next level of resistance. Like it was picture perfect for what you're supposed to do. You just sometimes never know that this is going to happen. Although for whatever reason, D-Man seemed to know. Because he's just, like I've said, he's a bit of a savant. But TGR, could you again show the button to add extra charts and tickers in the top row? Yeah, let me get rid of a couple of these. Right, so let me just get rid of... So these will open tabs. Right, each one will open a tab at the top. And on the far right side of the tabs is a plus button. See that? LL's in the house. What's up, LL? Cool J. I'm shitting all over myself. Yeah, aren't I? Got it all over myself. Meta. Oh, tell me you destroyed some meta today, LL. You want to look at it on a what? 4 hour? Yes, sir. Oh, did you pick it off the 21? I bet you did. LL Cool J. Neo, set up new tab. How do you set up the whole tab, or how do you open a new tab? I just recorded how to set up a new screen. And then somebody had a question. I got to scroll back here. VLW, are you in here? You want to know how to set support and resistance levels? You just Neo, you just open a new tab by clicking the plus button right here in the upper right hand corner next to the last tab that you have open. And you can also pull these out and make them separate windows as well. I'm just working off of one screen here. Right? So I could take this SPY chart, I could pull it into another window, and then I could pull it over onto another screen. Right? That's another way. And within that window, I could, right, open a new chart, and make it the Qs or whatever. And so on another window, I'll show you what I do have. In another window, I have this double chart of the SPYs and the Qs up. And it just sits up. And if I change the time frame, they both change. So if I want to see the SPY and the Qs on a 10-minute chart, I can just see where we're at quickly at a glance. And that chart is also up on another window, which I'm not streaming. But you see how when you hit the plus button, you don't have the top bar, the tabs, Lenny? Nice, LL. Very nice today. How do you zoom? I'm on a Mac, and I'm running a trackpad, and I'm pinching my fingers in and out. I'm imagining it, if you have a mouse, it's a scroll bar, the little roller bar. Just play around, and you can figure that out. I would imagine, um, moving your mouse, clicking your mouse and moving it would be up and down. Side to side is obviously pretty easy. You don't have to click anything. But I don't know. I've never used it with a regular mouse. I use a desktop investing tree. I just have that trackpad that sits on the desk. In my old life, I used to be a designer. Mark, no, Toss does not do this stuff. I mean, it has a lot of the same settings, but it's not as dynamic as this. It's a little on the clunky side. So I chart in I chart in TradingView, and I trade in Thinkorswim. Yeah, Diamond, you may be on the free plan. I know there's with the paid plans and the pro plan, you can have unlimited windows, or depending on which plan you're on, it kind of controls how many windows you can have open at a time. Neo, I think that's how I get the top line, frankly. I think it's because I'm on a pro plan. You're on pro, Neo? I don't know. Do you have it full screen? I don't know. You'll have to play with that. I've never had a problem with it. I don't know what it is, man. You'll have to play around with it. You know, click this button way over here on the right and make a new window that opens separately. Right? And maybe there's a new tab up there. You see how that pops open like that? So yeah, I don't know. I don't know why it's not working for you. Oh, I'm in an app. I downloaded the app. I'm not doing this in a browser. And then LVM was asking about how do you set support and resistance levels in TradingView. You have to do that yourself by creating lines. And these lines are just a horizontal line, and I just use Control H or Option H to draw one. I just put my cursor there and boom. And then if I want to change the color, I can change the color. If I want to remove them, I can remove them. But there's no real auto support and resistance lines. Yeah, Neo, it could be because you're in a browser. I've never really tried using it in a browser. I've just always downloaded the actual software. Okay, if that's it for questions on setting up TradingView, I'm gonna stop the recording and jump off unless anybody has any questions. And I know D-Man was talking about it earlier, and I put it in chat earlier as well. Tomorrow's a pretty is a potential market moving event, so just be aware of that. It happens before they open CPI numbers. So if you wake up and something is going your way and or going against you in a large way, you'll know why. So just manage your risk, whatever that might be. No problem, Diamond. Appreciate it. All right, I'm going to cut that recording, and I will chat with all of you tomorrow. Be safe out there.